Section 24. Text of Section 24. Printing of bills and amendments. No bill shall be considered for final passage in either House until it, with all amendments thereto, has been printed and copies distributed among the members. If a bill passed by either House be returned thereto, amended by the other, the House to which the same is returned shall cause the amendment or amendments so received to be printed and copies distributed among the members before final action on such amendments. 1. Section 25. Text of Section 25. Limitation on introduction of bills. No bill other than an appropriation bill shall be introduced in either House after the 60th legislative day unless consented to by a majority of the elected members of each House, or the Governor shall request a consideration of the proposed legislation by a special message. No appropriation bill shall be taken up for consideration after 6 o'clock p.m. on the first Friday following the first Monday in May of each year. 1. Amendments. Amended on November 3, 1970. Amended with the approval of Missouri Issue 1, General, 1988, on November 8, 1988. Section 26. Text of Section 26. Legislative journals demand for yeas and nays manner and record of vote. Each House shall publish a journal of its proceedings. The yeas and nays on any question shall be taken and entered on the journal on the motion of any 5 members. Whenever the yeas and nays are demanded, or required by this Constitution, the whole list of members shall be called and the names of the members voting yea and nay and the absentees shall be entered in the journal. 1. Section 27. Text of Section 27. Concurrence in amendments. Adoption of conference committee reports. Final passage of bills. No amendments to bills by one House shall be concurred in by the other, nor shall reports of committees of conference be adopted in either House, nor shall a bill be finally passed, unless a vote by yeas and nays be taken and a majority of the members elected to each House be recorded as voting favorably. 1. Section 28. Text of Section 28. Form of reviving, re-enacting and amending bills. No act shall be revived or re-enacted unless it shall be set forth at length as if it were an original act. No act shall be amended by providing that words be stricken out or inserted, but the words to be stricken out, or the words to be inserted, or the words to be stricken out and those inserted in lieu thereof, together with the act or section amended, shall be set forth in full as amended. 1. Section 29. Text of Section 29. Effective date of laws. Exceptions. Procedure in emergencies and upon recess. No law passed by the General Assembly, except an Appropriation Act, shall take effect until 90 days after the adjournment of the session in either odd-numbered or even-numbered years at which it was enacted. However, in case of an emergency which must be expressed in the preamble or in the body of the Act, the General Assembly by a 2/3 vote of the members elected to each House, taken by yeas and nays, may otherwise direct, and further except that, if the General Assembly recesses for 30 days or more, it may prescribe by joint resolution that laws previously passed and not effective shall take effect 90 days from the beginning of the recess. 1. Amendments. Amended on November 3, 1970. Section 30. Text of Section 30. Signing of bills by presiding officers. Procedure on objections. Presentation of bills to Governor. No bill shall become a law until it is signed by the presiding officer of each House in open session, who first shall suspend all other business, declare that the bill shall now be read, and that if no objection be made he will sign the same. If in either House any member shall object in writing to the signing of a bill, the objection shall be noted in the journal and annexed to the bill to be considered by the Governor in connection therewith. When a bill has been signed, the Secretary, or the Chief Clerk, of the House in which the bill originated shall present the bill in person to the Governor on the same day on which it was signed and enter the fact upon the journal. 1. Section 31. Text of Section 31. Governor's duty as to bills and joint resolutions. Time limitations. Failure to return, bill becomes law. Every bill which shall have passed the House of Representatives and the Senate shall be presented to and considered by the Governor, and, within 15 days after presentment, he shall return such bill to the House in which it originated endorsed with his approval or accompanied by his objections. If the bill be approved by the Governor, it shall become a law. When the General Assembly adjourns, or recesses for a period of 30 days or more, the Governor shall return within 45 days any bill to the office of the Secretary of State with his approval or reasons for disapproval. If any bill shall not be returned by the Governor within the time limits prescribed by this section, it shall become law in like manner as if the Governor had signed it. 1. Amendments. Amended with the approval of Missouri Issue 1, Primary, 1986, on August 5, 1986. Section 32. Text of Section 32. Vetoed bills reconsidered, when every bill presented to the Governor and returned with his objections shall stand as reconsidered in the House to which it is returned. If the Governor returns any bill with his objections on or after the 5th day before the last day upon which a session of the General Assembly may consider bills, the General Assembly shall automatically reconvene on the first Wednesday following the second Monday in September for a period not to exceed 10 calendar days for the sole purpose of considering bills returned by the Governor. The objections of the Governor shall be entered upon the journal and the House shall proceed to consider the question pending, which shall be in this form: shall the bill pass, the objections of the Governor thereto notwithstanding? The vote upon this question shall be taken by yeas and nays, and if 2/3 of the elected members of the House vote in the affirmative, the presiding officer of that House shall certify that fact on the roll, attesting the same by his signature, and send the bill with the objections of the Governor to the other House, in which like proceedings shall be had in relation thereto. The bill thus certified shall be deposited in the office of the Secretary of State as an authentic act and shall become a law. 1. Amendments. Amended on November 3, 1970. Amended on November 7, 1972. Amended with the approval of Missouri Issue 1, General, 1988, on November 8, 1988. Section 33. Text of Section 33. Repealed. 1. Amendments. Repealed on August 5, 1986, L. 1986 HCSHJR 4 and 20, seconds. 1. First Reg. Sess. Section 34. Text of Section 34. Revision of General Statutes. Limitation on compensation. In the year 1949 and at least every 10 years thereafter, all general statute laws shall be revised, digested, and promulgated as provided by law. No senator or representative shall receive any compensation in addition to his salary as a member of the General Assembly for any services rendered in connection with said revision. 1. Section 35. Text of Section 35. Committee on Legislative Research. There shall be a permanent joint committee on legislative research, selected by and from the members of each House as provided by law. The General Assembly, by a majority vote of the elected members, may discharge any or all of the members of the committee at any time and select their successors. The committee may employ a staff as provided by law. The committee shall meet when necessary to perform the duties, advisory to the General Assembly, assigned to it by law. The members of the committee shall receive no compensation in addition to their salary as members of the General Assembly, but may receive their necessary expenses while attending the meetings of the committee. 1.